This one might get a little bit ranty, but I'd like to remind you that when you are a content creator in game development, that you should be testing your content. The earlier we can catch a bug, the easier it is going to be to fix it. In a perfect world, we don't introduce the bug in the first place. But the worst case is that a bug gets through all of the possible protections, and the person who finds the bug is the player, the person who paid money to play this game. That's the situation you want to avoid at all costs. And every time you remove or reduce one of your barriers of protection, you increase the risk of a bug getting through to that end user, that player. It might seem like it's not your job to test content. You have people whose job it is to do that. You pay QA people or QV people to test your content to ensure that things are working. And yeah, that is their job, but it's your job too. You know how your content works better than anyone, so you are able to test it more quickly when it's in a less complete state and avoid bugs that otherwise could potentially be caught much later in testing or not at all. And a bug that's caught months after it's introduced takes a lot longer to fix. Because first of all, it may not be obvious who should even look at the bug. Is this a design bug? Is this an art bug? Is this a programming bug? It's not obvious because it was introduced a long time ago and just escaped notice. So it's going to bounce around within the bug system trying to find a home. And then when it finally gets to you, the person who introduced the bug, now you have to remember what you were doing when you worked on this content, what the intention was, and what the potential fix of the bug is. Whereas a lot of times, if you simply had tested that content when you first created it, when it was all fresh in your mind, you would have easily found that bug. You would have known immediately what was causing it because it was just this greater than should have been a less than. It's obvious to you in the moment because everything is fresh in your mind and you're able to fix that bug in way less time. The older a bug gets between when it was introduced and when it was fixed, the more expensive it's going to be to fix. Let's try this analogy. If I'm framing a house and I put my tape measure down on one of the cross beams, it's very easy for me to check around my workspace after I'm done and go, oh, look, I forgot my tape measure, grab it, and put it back in my tool belt. If I don't do that cross check, then there's a reasonable possibility that the drywallers are going to come and just put the drywall right over the framing and right over top of my tape measure, and it's going to just be inside the wall now. And in order to find that tape measure is now going to be a lot more destructive of a process to do. In fact, we probably aren't going to do it at all, and my tape measure will be lost forever. And you might be thinking, well, who cares? It's just a tape measure. I guess it's just lost forever. But if you're losing a tape measure once a week, it's going to rack up pretty quickly. And what if it wasn't a tape measure? What if it was a fish sandwich? Or what if it was a block of plutonium? When we are doing game development, the scope of the bugs that we can introduce are much more variable for almost all of the creatives who are introducing content into the game. They can range from anything as small as a tiny little performance impact from an inefficiently implemented creature up to this game now crashes in a very obscure way, and that escapes notice. Everything from I've left a tape measure in a wall to I've left a kilogram of weapons-grade plutonium in a wall. And when we are working, it's very easy for us to do some testing on our content and to avoid some of it. We're not going to catch all of it. This is not our full-time job, but it is our responsibility to do initial preliminary checks to ensure that it meets some bar of quality before we release our content to the rest of the project. It can be tempting for project managers and some creative leaders even to tell you that this is not your job, that you should not be testing your own content. But I'm going to tell you that if you have gotten that advice, that is bad advice, that is career limiting advice, the other people who do the same job as you, who are moving forward in their career, are testing their content. And yes, part of the secret is finding the balance between how much testing you should do before you're willing to release a piece of content. But if you are doing basically none, you are going to build up a reputation for not building robust content, for not being capable of delivering quality, for taking a long time to fix your bugs, because you're going to have a lot of bugs in your content. And if you're not testing your fixes, they're going to come bouncing back at you a lot of times. This reputation will get stuck to you. So if someone more senior than you has told you not to test your content, they are giving you bad advice. They are steering you wrong. You need to try not to listen to that advice. They probably don't even really mean what they're saying. If they are being explicit and they are your manager, you might be stuck between a rock and a hard place. But even there, see if you can't sneak a little testing in around the edges. If you are a leader, if you are a manager, and you are giving this advice, what the hell? What are you even thinking in your head? Are you so arrogant to think that you and your entire discipline are above testing your own content? Are you trying to fix the fact that your reports are doing too much testing? This is not the way to do it. Stop it. Whatever reason has corrupted your thinking, stop telling your reports to not test their own content. You are doing nearly irreparable damage to the project on which you are theoretically a leader. I have seen this, unfortunately, more than 0 times, which is infinitely more than I would hope to ever see this having occurred, where leaders had told teams to not test their own content, to just throw things into the build, accumulating ever more bug debt on a project until it basically threatens the stability of the project as a whole. This is not the way to run a project. This is not the way to grow as a developer. So again, if you're getting this advice, don't listen to it, at least as much as you are capable of doing so. Special thanks to my members. They provide the resources that this channel needs to keep running. If you're interested in becoming a member, there's a link to that down in the description. We also have a Patreon now if you're more comfortable with that. If you're interested in picking up some merch, there will be some tagged in this video as well. This is the High Tea on the High Seas hoodie. That is also a way to help out the channel. Have you ever gotten this advice? Did you listen to it? If you worked around it because it was coming from your manager, what are some techniques you used to get that testing in spite of the direction you were being given? Share that with the other people viewing this video, because I suspect there are some people watching that could use the help. I will see you again soon. Thank you.